Welcome back to week 2 of our series, Truly and Fully. This week we're jumping into the values of our church. Our church has 6 values, and we believe that these values are going to help us become a better follower of Jesus, to help our church live out the will that Jesus has for our church, and to fulfill the mission that we've set for our church. And so the first value that we're going to jump into is this: we live by truth. And we want to live by truth because the truth is what has the power to set us free. And we can see that in John 8:31-32. And so if you were to turn there, this is what it would say. It says, "So Jesus said to the Jews who had believed him, 'If you abide in my word, you are truly my disciple, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free.'" And so as we think about that word abide means to remain, to dwell. And so if you're to remain in the Word of God and to dwell in His Word, then you are truly a disciple. And disciples know the truth, and the truth is what has the power to set us free. And so there's a couple of different ways that we can live this out. I believe we can live it out in multiple ways of our life. But as a pastoral staff, we were talking and we found 3 really key places that our church can live out. We live by truth. And so we can demonstrate that by the first one, is by teaching God's unaltered word. Whether it's in our sermons or our small groups, or whether we're teaching our kids or our youth, that we do not alter the word of God for anybody. Sometimes the word of God is hard to hear, but that's what has the power to set us free. And people need to hear the truth. And so the second way that we can demonstrate this as a church is by the refusal to please others at the expense of pleasing God. So what that means is we're more worried about what God cares about instead of what other people care about or how we make other people feel. And the truth is when you look into the scriptures, you can see that the religious people of Jesus' day, they wanted to kill Jesus for his words and what he had to say. And so it's a hard truth to swallow at times, but it's the truth that we need to hear, and we can't care about what other people think. We got to care about what God thinks and what he says. And then the third way that we as a church can demonstrate that we live by truth is prioritizing spiritual growth over numerical growth. And what that looks like is for us to care more about how people are growing in their faith than how many people we have at a service or at an event. Because we can have a church full of people or a successful event full of lots of people, a high number, but the truth is if they're not growing spiritually, we've missed the point. I think about when you look at the shepherd who leaves the 99 for the 1. He didn't say, well, 99 is a pretty good number. He said, no, I want to go after that one that cares, that has missed the point, they're straying away from God, and I want him to also grow spiritually. And so that's what we should be focused on in as a church. And so I hope you guys have a great talk about our first value, which is we live by truth. And I hope that y'all are blessed by this series and that our church is blessed by it. And so thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.